And here we are for Formula Renault Northern European Cup Race 2 here in Monza. The very best welcome to you all following us on YouTube and Facebook. So welcome back in Monza after yesterday action. It's time to have Race 2 here in Monza. The Race 2 will still be 25 minutes long. Alongside with me there will be Jake, the press office manager for Formula Renault NEC. Welcome, Jack.
Hi, nice to be here, and particularly nice now that the sun's come back out.
Yes, sun is back on Monza. It was a sunny weekend throughout the day, but this morning...
Oh, unbelievable. I woke up in the hotel this morning and
thunderstorm.
Hail apparently.
Yes.
I mean, I wasn't certain, I was still in bed, I'm not crazy, but
Well,
hail still this morning, so unbelievable.
I was waken up by the thunderstorm.
Yeah.
From 7 to 20 minutes to 8, there was a very massive thunderstorm here in Monza. Same, of course, here on track. And the first race of the weekend was held in wet condition, but now, as you can see, dry.
No, both dry. Yesterday was dry.
No, the first race of
today, first race on the track today,
this morning,
I see, yes.
After the thunderstorm, yes.
So yeah, I mean, perhaps on the runoff areas, I can see just under the podium here, there's a little bit of damp still in the pit lane, but the track is dry completely, so no worries for any of the drivers. Yes, indeed.
So the drivers have all joined the track. They have to take their position on the grid straight forward. They won't be allowed to have an extra passage to the pit lane. They will come straight to the starting grid and take their position for a very quick starting procedure.
Yeah, and we'll give you a rundown of the grid then.
Definitely.
Pole position is yesterday's race winner, Gabriel Aubry. He had a great battle all race long with his teammate Max Fuchel, the two Tech 1 drivers. Second
Yesterday Max started from second place and today will be third,
today he'll be
right
third.
on the tail of Aubry.
But then Gilles Magnus of RHGP yesterday starred for a while, had some really fast laps, faded a little bit at the end, but he'll start from second place. Max Fuchel third. Sun Yu Yang of JD Motorsport starts fourth. Jean-Baptiste Simonauer, fifth. He had an unfortunate end yesterday. Bartek Marecki, who scored a fantastic podium in yesterday's race, a wonderful race for him. He starts in sixth. Thomas Maxwell of Tech 1 in seventh. Michael Ben Yahia from RHGP in eighth. Then it's Prez Martono and Frank Bird on row 5. Teo Quaco, and we have to apologise for Teo for massacring his name yesterday several times. Charles Malaysi in alongside him on row 6. Row 7, Thomas Neubauer and Julia Pankovic. And on the back row, having not set of time, is Chia Wing Hung. And here they are coming around Parabolica to hopefully form up on the grid and towards a clean, warm-up lap first and then hopefully a clean start. I'll tell you what, that Tatus Renault chassis is such a lovely looking little car, isn't it?
It is, really is. And definitely a performing car.
Oh, it's a fantastic place to early step on the motorsport ladder, for certain. All identical cars, the Tatus chassis and then a 210 horsepower Renault Sport engine.
2-litre engine.
Our series photographer said to me today, you know what I really like about these cars? I love these cars because they have exactly the same engine as my Renault Clio. and he's right, they are the same engine, or
definitely.
For all intents and purposes the same engine.
The weight is slightly different, but they have the same engine.
Yes, yeah, I think the performance of his Clio is perhaps a little less than this, with road tyres and heavier weights and more drag, but
this is not a car, however.
That's good identification. Well done. I can see you've been doing this a while. So yeah, we can hope for a race as good at the front as it was yesterday. And actually, all up and down the field, there was some fantastic.
You can see a very nice battles. Car there.
That's the
black
that's Tech
and orange.
Yes, Tech 1 Racing of Max Fuchel somewhere in that shot.
What's the difference between the car driven by Max and the one driven by Gabriel? How would you recognize the two black and orange cars?
So Gabriel Aubry, you'll notice, has no little white on the airbox. Sorry, Gabriel Aubrey has the white on his airbox.
Yes.
And Max Fuchel has no white on his airbox. But then 4 Tech 1 cars, all looking very similar.
With the traditional colors of the French team, black and orange.
But then, of course, there's
we are
two
with JD
of the,
Motorsport.
3 of the RHGP cars look very similar as well. So it's just keeping us on our toes, making our life a little bit more interesting. There's Sun Yu Yang, Chinese driver with the Renault Development Academy.
4th place for him.
Yeah, he didn't have the easiest race yesterday, but came home in 4th. Had a good battle with both Bartek, who finished 3rd, and Gilles Magnus as well. So let's hope for more good action for him. Now,
Simenauer.
Yes, here's the unlucky Jean-Baptiste Simenauer, who ended up upside down at Variante Ascari. Sorry, not Ascari, Variante 2.
Variante 2, yes. Simenauer also joined the event only late on Friday.
That was Neubauer.
Okay, my mistake.
Thomas Neubauer, yes. who will start today from...
the last letters of the names are the same, so...
Yes, from row 7, Thomas Neubauer will start, but he did no practice at all, so his qualifying session on yesterday morning, qualifying 1 and 2, back-to-back yesterday morning, was the second session he'd done. He did qualifying 1, he did qualifying 2, and they're very short sessions, so, you know, he's lacking a little bit of track time here.
Track has been clear. The grid is going to be clear.
And all the drivers there, you see they've got their umbrellas. It's a little cooler than it was yesterday, in the 20s as opposed to the mid-30s, but all the drivers are saying you sit there, it's no problem when you're going quickly because you have the breeze, but when you're sat on the grid and the cars are hot, you're wearing 3 layers of Nomex, you've got the sun beating down on you, it's...
tension arousing.
Yeah, it can be a difficult place to be.
1 minute. 1 minute to the green flag, so time to light on the engines.
That is a fantastic view for any racing driver, isn't it? Down to turn 1 at Monza. I saw the famous signatures book by the podium, the famous Monza signatures book that I had not heard of until yesterday. That is signed by, is it every race driver here or every podium finisher?
Every podium finish. No, every podium. Yes, podium for each race.
So there's a famous
overall
book, huge book here at Monza, like something out of Lord of the Rings. This huge book, and then every driver who finishes on the podium signs it. So, and then it goes back for years and years of very famous drivers.
The championship, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
And here we are away for the formation lap. There they are weaving.
No matter if you race in Formula 1 or in the easiest entry level of motorsport, if you win in Monza, you'll sign alongside some of your idols.
Oh, there's a little lock-up on the warm-up lap from Bartek Mirecki. He needs to be careful of that during the race. You get a little flat spot on your tyre, a little flat spot, and you can have a huge vibration. Even the smallest flat spot can just mean you end up with a huge vibration, and drivers just tell you they can't even see. It's vibrating so much you can barely see at high speed, so he needs to be careful not to ruin his tyres. Of course, the other thing being they're only allowed 4 sets of new tyres for the whole weekend, and that's 2 practice sessions, 2 qualifying sessions, and 2 races, and you have to be quite economical with them.
This is Seconda Variante, the second chicane here in Monza, also known as the Variante of La Roggia.
These corner names sound an awful lot better when you say them than when I say them.
Roggia, tradition says that is the place where a very small castle, which in Italian is Roggia, was the private place of the king for his very private encounters.
Oh, great.
That's why it's called Variante della Roggia.
It's always nice to have a little bit of history of a racing track, isn't it?
This is the Ascari, maybe the most famous, well, not the most, but...
I think every corner here is famous.
I was about to say the same thing, because Parabolic is famous, First Chicane is famous, La Roggia is famous, Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2.
But I was going to say, that is named after Alberto Ascari, right?
Yes.
Okay, because I was going to say, named after Alberto. I've always assumed, but I've never really checked. But
That's true.
such a wonderful, it's such a fast set of turns.
It's very
like those.
tricky, especially from halfway through the end, because it's easy to go oversteering, so smashing the barrier on the left hand side, or if you end up too quick on the outside of the curb that you see color with the colors of the Italian flag, green, red and white, there is a synthetic grass we call astroturf, which it's very very slippery in dry condition, and also in even more of course in wet conditions.
And of course, having rained this morning, we're going to, it's dry on the track, but those runoff areas are still going to be wet, so you need to be very careful. If you go off into the grass here, the rain was really severe. It didn't last long, but it was really very heavy. And if you go off into the grass here, you're going to get quite muddy, I think. And now we're coming around Parabolica. The safety vehicles at the back there, obviously not part of the race. They'll follow the cars for one lap, and then
yes, they will follow the car for the whole first lap to be sure that in case of need they're straight on place.
Just a reminder then of your starting order: Aubrey and Magnus on the front row, Futrell and Yu Yang on the second, Simonauer and Mirecki row 3, Maxwell and Ben Yahia row 4, Martono and Bird row 5, Quaco and Milesi row 6, Neubauer and Pankiewicz row 7, and Chia on his own on row 8. Rolling then towards their grid positions. Let's hope for a nice clean start today. We had a couple of drivers going very, very wide yesterday. They've been told that that is unacceptable. Track limits will be enforced pretty severely, I'm sure, by race direction.
It's a matter of safety for all drivers.
Yes, exactly.
They need to respect. Is a green flag on the back? Yes,
and there it is. Revs rise.
Red.
And we're away for the second round of the Formula Renault Northern European Cup 2017. And they're weaving all over the place. Yes. Oh. It looks like Magnus is going to try on Aubrey down to the first turn. He got a good start. Ooh, it's quite tight into that first corner, remember, at Monza. Oh, they're 3 wide through this first part. It looks like they've all survived well.
Aubrey is still in the lead, so
yeah,
a very good start from Aubrey, same from Magnus. And Futrell is third so far. But already chasing on Magnus. He was right on his tail. Let's see on the... See?
It looks like a great start as well for Maxwell. He looks like he's moved up to 4th from 7th on the grid.
Position,
yeah,
yes.
7th on the grid.
4th row. With a black and orange car from...
he's got all the way around the outside. It looks like we now have a Tech 1, 1, 2, 3. Has he gone all the way around the outside at Lesmo 1? That's an incredible move from Thomas Maxwell.
Move this Fortec Motorsport team, so they're happy.
They look very happy again. Give us a wave, lads. Not
say
participating.
Hello, cheer. This is the Ascari.
Waiting for them to appear into the Ascari chicane.
There they arrive. So we have 1 and 2 Tech 1, then Magnus.
Yeah, Magnus has got back ahead. And then that must be Sun Yu Yang in 5th place.
But they all went through the first lap so far, so...
Oh, big crash on the back straight. They've connected. It's Mirecki and potentially Martono have connected on the back straight, and they're both either side of the track. It's definitely Bartek Mirecki.
On the right-hand side.
Yes.
With the black and green car.
Yes, and we are going to go obviously under the safety car. Oh, Mirecki's continued.
Mirecki has rejoined the truck.
Doesn't look like there's...
I think it's Martono.
I think it's
Martono.
Yes, and again.
It is.
Presley Martono exited at Parabolica yesterday after some contact, and he's had some more contact today. Sorry, no contact yesterday for Pres Martono. He just got a little bit excited.
Misjudged the Parabolica.
But Mirecki has continued despite the contact. He's right at the back, but the safety car, of course, will help him. He has continued. Let's have a look, see if we can't see if there's any damage on... unfortunately not, he goes past. But the safety car. Okay, so what we've had here is a situation where the incident has happened running into the last corner, so the safety car has not been able to get out in front of them. So Aubrey, for now, is effectively a virtual safety car.
Yes.
And
But
we'll
these
wait for the
guys
safety
are
car to
very,
come round.
very smart and clever, so they're respecting the board shown by the marshals. They've reduced their speed, they're queuing up, they're very professional.
Yes, exactly, indeed.
I would say I'm surprised, but I'm not, because I expect such a behavior from them, even if they're very, very young.
It's a replay here. Let's see what happened. It just looks like there's side-by-side contact between the two of them on the back.
Between three.
Yeah, potentially three. Martono's hit the wall pretty hard. There's a lot of muck gone onto the track there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 overall. It's
just trying to work out who that is.
It's New Buyer, the 7th. Maybe also New Buyer was involved in it.
Potentially.
Potentially, because now
it's hard
7th.
to see. It's very hard to see.
It's a shame that in the straight the two of them got tangled.
Yes, exactly. I mean, it's when you're trying to draft and you're trying to move around, it's difficult to see. It's difficult to work it out. I'm pretty certain, in fact, that was it could well have been Teo Kouakou, sorry, who had some trouble yesterday as well. With the marshals on the scene recovering the car. And Perez Martono is out of the car and he's just going to go for a checkup at the medical centre. It's good news, of course, that he's out of the car.
Good news, yes. There we have the safety car. Considering the professionality of the Monza marshal, it's likely that the safety car will be on track just for this extra lap, so 2 laps in safety car conditions. The cars was already lifted. The Martono car was already lifted, so we expect a quick restart with 20 minutes still to go.
Yeah, we really have to commend the marshals. Yesterday we had a car upside down and we only had two safety car laps, really short safety car period, so they're doing a great job to make sure the racing keeps going this weekend.
The personnel here, it's very trained. It's the same personnel that operates every weekend here in Monza. As I said yesterday, from Formula 1 to any other events held, they're always the same marshals, so they're a very good team and very professional.
And of course we have to thank them, because without the marshals, motor racing doesn't happen.
Most of them are volunteers, so.
And it looks like
they need an even bigger thank.
Kouakou came into the pit lane and has rejoined, I believe. Yes, that was him going past the pits just now. So Kouakou did come in.
Teo.
Really, I'm sorry, Teo. And has rejoined the track.
Safety car in this lap. So we were right, only 2 laps behind the safety car. So we're about to witness a restart. Yesterday there was also a safety car, as you said, and Aubrey was leading the group. Now look who is leading the group.
Well, how did Future manage to get ahead of Aubrey? That must have happened while we weren't even able to see.
Maybe it was at the second of Lesmo. Maybe Audrey ended up a little bit wide. So now it's Future time to restart. So
yeah,
let's see if Audrey.
Well, yesterday, of course, at the restart, Aubrey and Future got away from Marecki, and they went pretty much together. Today,
look, Aubrey is close to his teammate.
You've got to stay really close. The top 4 then, Max Futrell, Gabby Aubrey, Gilles Magnus, and then Thomas Maxwell. And then Michael Ben Yahia has got ahead of Sun Yu Yang just behind as well, so that's good news for him. There's a little bit of dirt there. You can see it on the left-hand side of the track where Perez came just slightly back onto the track, so we've got to be careful when you're on the straight there not to pick that dirt up on your tyres. And you can see behind them, there's Teo Kouakou coming back round, and he's just managing to catch up the field. And away we go, Max Futrell is on it, and they've all gone with him. Excellent work from all of them pretty much, and looks like Ben Yahi has got a little bit of a run there on Maxwell for 4th position.
Green flag.
And here's the green flag.
There they go.
It looks like a really good run for a couple of the drivers there, particularly Ben Yahya.
Very close to Maxwell. So.
Yeah, Ben Yahya, he's going to look. There he goes, down the inside towards the first chicane, and he's going to make that.
Yeah.
Ooh, got to be careful, and he's done it perfectly.
And he squeezed in between.
And there's
Maxwell
Neubauer
and
as well,
Magnus.
making some positions. And then Bartek Marecki already around the outside of Pankiewicz. Already making some strong progress, Bartek Marecki. He'll be frustrated having been involved in that accident, because he said to me yesterday he thinks he could have repeated that podium. So he's going to be
Finger crossed
really going to push very hard. And there he is around the outside of Curva Grande as well.
Second chicane.
Oh, and another accident. Is that Simonauer spinning? No. 21, car 21 is... Oh, it's Sun Yu Yang has gone around, and he's stuck on the curbs there at the second chicane.
Double yellow flags means danger.
Looks like he might have had some contact going into that chicane.
Let's see if he's able to rejoin the track to avoid another safety car, because that's...
Well, it looked to me like he was stuck, but hopefully they can do it pretty... It looks like he had some contact, potentially with Neubauer. It's one of the Tech 1 cars. I think it was Neubauer he's had some contact with there. And we have another safety car. Second safety car. As Sun Yu Yang is stuck on the curbs. That's very unfortunate for him.
Under investigation from the race control, it looks like the cars got stuck.
Yeah, I mean with these low single-seater cars, there's not much you can do once you're stuck on one of those sausage curbs, as we call them in the UK.
We call the dissuasori.
Again, it sounds much better than sausage curb, doesn't it? Here we have a replay, and there's already contact in the background. So Sun Yu Yang is spinning. He's very lucky he hasn't connected with any of the drivers ahead of him.
He might have a flat tire. If you see the replay, it looks like the left rear was flat.
Maybe he had some contact,
yes,
yeah.
Maybe due to a puncture of a contact, or looks like the car was flat on the left rear. I don't think it's a broken suspension, but
it's hard. It's quite hard to see. Yeah, it looks like potentially a flat tire. We've just got a little replay coming up in our box here, but certainly an unfortunate incident. That's 2 incidents of contact after
maybe
only
also
a few laps.
The reason why he was unable to rejoin the track. But still under investigation, so as soon as we have more news concerning it, we will be glad to share them with you.
So again, the order then is Futrell from Albury, Magnus, Benyahia, Maxwell, Malaysi, Simonauer, Bird, Chia, Mirecki, Quaco, Neubauer, Pankiewicz. And of course, so far this weekend, Gabby Albury has had the top time in both practice sessions. He was top in both qualifying sessions. He won yesterday and took the fastest lap yesterday.
Safety car in this lap. So we have a restart with 14 minutes still to go. Actually, we raced only for 2 laps. More laps were behind the safety car, but safety car is in this lap. So another chance for Aubrey to close the gap from Futrell and try to make his move.
And then obviously when you have 2 safety cars close together like this and you're in the lead, you want to change how you've done the restarts, and so that puts a little bit of pressure on Futrell and also on the following pack to try and guess where he will go. Because of course, if you're left a little bit, you lose the toe down the front straight, and the leader could just disappear.
It's very important for Aubrey to stay close to him until the exit of the Ascari.
Yes, exactly. And there he is, glued practically to his Tech 1 teammate. And then Magnus there, the RSGP driver.
Magnus should close his gap from Aubrey.
Yes, you're not going to have any argument from me on that one. So it's Tech 1 and Tech 1 from R-Ace and R-Ace just behind, with Magnus and Benyahi in 3rd and 4th. Let's not forget, Magnus definitely has some pace. He was very fast for a lot of the race yesterday. Just fell away towards the end. So let's see if he can stick with them. And you'll notice that Futrell is weaving around like crazy, but Aubrey's staying straight so he can nail the throttle immediately. Oh, he's got a little gap this time, Futrell, just slightly, and it might be enough to hold Aubrey off into the first corner. And as we go past the start-finish line, we'll see the green flag again. It's a matter of a tenth
of a second. If you lose that moment, you won't be able to make your move.
And let's see, as they come down into the first turn, side by side behind, that looks like Benyahia and Maxwell are side by side, and then behind them, ooh, some really tight action between. It's really hard to tell them apart sometimes. Mirecki making more progress, side by side with Neubauer. holds his position. So it's Future still from Aubrey. There's Maxwell still trying to make his way around Ben Yahia behind them. Very close on the edge of the track as we run towards here. And it looks like Maxwell, he's not quite close enough. Not quite close enough to pass Ben Yahia there. Fastest first sector of the race, incidentally, from Gabby Aubrey.
He's trying to put pressure on his rival, but he still has a consistent lead.
Through Lesmo 2. That lap 6, meaning 6 laps to go, not the 6th. Oh yeah, sorry, it is the 6th lap. Yes,
this is the 6th lap, and this is your time.
But I think it is also about 6 laps to go as well, with 11 minutes.
Yes, 11 minutes
roughly,
to go.
yeah.
They're lapping in 2.
That's a safety car lap.
Yeah,
though,
that's a safety car lap. Of course, they are. I think 150 something.
The fastest lap so far is a 155, but the best lap we saw yesterday was a 51. So.
But there are still 6 more laps, at least 6 more laps. In normal conditions.
And here they are, all line astern, hoping to get a nice tow through Parabolica and then hold under the rear wing of their rival down the front straight. Looks like the field is just spread out a little bit this time. Future with 6 tenths, yeah. Then half a second then to Magnus and then another half a second to Ben Yahia.
And 1 second from Simenawa.
Future, Aubrey, Magnus, Ben Yahia, Simenawa, Malaysia across the line that time. Yeah, it's all kind of settled down a little bit here. And that's great news for Max Future, because yesterday in the second half of the race, once the 2 Tech 1 drivers were pulling away, they were doing fast times and they were just running at almost exactly the same pace. So
Future
this could be Max's race.
152.053, which is the fastest lap so far, but Aubrey is just...
And I think we'll see those times come down as well.
Lower than him.
Car 6, that's Thomas Neubauer, is incidentally under investigation, which could well be to do with that incident with Sun Yu Yang. One would presume. Bit of wild camera work in the pit lane there. Hope the cameraman's alright, not falling over. That's the RSGP guys discussing, presumably, how they can get towards those Tech 1 drivers.
Yes, Magnus team.
And again, Future and Aubrey, just looking at these purple sector times, they're swapping fastest sector times between them, and neither of them really seems to have much of an edge. So they're going to find it. Aubrey's going to find it difficult to close that gap. Oh, Marecki wide coming out of the Ascari. Oh, really wide coming out of Ascari. Yeah, there he is coming back onto the track.
Yes.
Quite wild from Bartek Marecki there. I think you can imagine he's a little bit frustrated after his difficult. His incident with Pres Martono on the back straight, and a difficult day for him. And here we are. This time Aubrey looks like he's got the toe a little better.
But I think
and then
still
behind,
not enough.
There's Neubauer as well, getting a nice toe.
Maxwell, I think, is very close to Milesi. See, Maxwell? Maxwell's taking the inside on Milesi.
Ah, yes, there he is, yeah.
And he's gone through.
Yes, good move from Thomas Maxwell. But the toe here is so important that the streamline.
Has to look his mirror from Bird, because his Bird is chasing.
Bird there in the classic red and white colours of Fortec, of course. Long history in Formula Renault. Here we are again. Aubrey right on the tail of Future. Future might well have to go pretty defensive. Oh, confident stays, and Aubrey doesn't make a move.
Aubrey is less than 2 tenths behind.
Yeah, he's really closed that gap. His last lap 151.591. That's nearly 3 tenths faster than Future managed, and he's really closing it down. Yeah. But that time it was Frank Bird set the fastest first sector of the race, so he must have had a really nice toe down that front straight to get a nice. Because most of that first sector, of course, is a long straight and then flat out through Curva Grande. Front 2 definitely pulling away just slightly from the 2 behind. There's gapping, and the front 4 definitely gapping. So that's Future, Aubrey, Magnus and Ben Yahia getting away from Simonauer pretty comfortably now. And then at the back there, Marecki had good pace yesterday. You have to wonder whether maybe he's got some damage. Oh, they're very
Let's
close
see
this time.
now.
Aubrey's
Let's see now,
really
yes.
close to this time as they
Let's
come
see
out.
if Future will defend the inner line or try to gain maximum speed.
Yeah, Aubrey right underneath him this time.
Let's look now at the
And
first
there's
chicane.
Bird right on the rear wing of Malaysia as well.
A little bit of zigzagging.
Let's see what Aubrey does. And he goes to the inside, and he makes the move for the lead.
Yes,
Perfect outbraking maneuver from Gabriel Aubrey.
very, very
And now
nice.
Future will try and get a good
Clean
exit through
move.
and then get him back into the second chicane. It looks like he's got a really good exit there, Max Future. As they come through Curva Grande, he'll be right under the rear wing. Oh, and he is right under the rear wing of Gabby
Let's see
Aubrey.
the second chicane.
Whoa! Incredibly tight action
Inside.
between the two of them. And this is great news for Gilles Magnus as well, of course.
So Aubrey's on the inside, Future is on the outside.
And Aubrey goes a little
bit
wide,
wide,
and then
but still-
Future's going to get him into Lesmo 1, I
But
think.
now he has the inside. Future has
Oh,
the
and
inside
it's
for
brought
the
Ben Yahya
Lesmo
into
one.
this race as well.
Yes.
And still Aubrey holds the lead. And now the top five are all
I think
together.
Future
Simonau
is
are
in
joining the fight.
Future is leading with 6,000 of a seconds ahead of Aubrey.
At the
Because-
line,
because-
yes.
Because Future was on the inside. Now I think the gap that we see now it's updated after
No,
the first sector.
this. Oh, okay.
Now they change once more. Now it's Aubrey.
It's Aubrey
See?
from Future,
Did they-
from Magnus, Ben Yahya, and Simonau. Simonau now under loads of pressure for Thomas
And-
Maxwell. He's
Yes.
yo-yoed through this field a little bit, Maxwell. He clearly has some good pace.
5 minutes and 30 seconds to go, so at least 3 more laps.
And here we go again. Aubrey
Aubrey's
and
leading.
Futurel, and Gilles Magnus right underneath him, the Belgian, showing good pace. And Maxwell
Future
as well,
has to
right
be-
underneath
has to
Simonau.
stay focused, Future, otherwise Aubrey will.
Whoa, Ben
edge a
Yahya
little
right
bit.
under the rear wing of Maxwell as they went past this. Underneath Magnus as they went past us.
Future is trying to gain the maximum of the slipstream.
And Ben Yahya has passed. Oh, incredible exit from Parabolica then for Ben Yahya.
Maxwell also. So
And
look,
Maxwell, yeah.
passed by Simonau.
Phenomenal action into that first turn this time. That was an incredible exit from the last turn for Ben Yahya. He dragged past Gilles Magnus on the straight. And of course, with all these cars having exactly the same aero, exactly the same engine, that's all down to the line and the exit he's managed to get out of Parabolica.
Aubrey is still ahead.
Oh, Maxwell. Oh, very, very wide
long.
there. Simonau, Jean-Baptiste Simonau just
Let's see if
going
he
wide
responds.
where yesterday he ended up upside down. And that gives Maxwell a little bit of a breathing room. Be interesting to see whether he can close down the two R-Ace GP cars ahead. Because Tech 1 yesterday, after the incident for Maxwell at the first corner, Tech 1 thought they could have had a 1-2-3. They clearly have faith in Thomas
But
Maxwell's pace.
Mireki hold it.
Yes, he held it very well, and of course Thomas Maxwell didn't get to complete the lap. He was crashing the first corner with Malaysia. So, and now Futurel's on a really fast lap. He's doing purple middle sector, his best first sector of the race, and he's right there with Aubrey as they come out of the first. As they come out of Ascari.
Of Ascari.
And there's a big gap.
He can
back
even
there.
make his move here at the breaking point of the Parabolica. But
I think he'll be
See?
concerned to do that because when you see how good Aubrey is out of Parabolic, oh rare, Gilles Magnus very nearly takes out his RSGP teammate Ben Yahya there. That would have made him very unpopular. So it's Aubrey from Futurel, Ben Yahya,
look
Magnus,
the
and
lap
Maxwell.
times that they managed to do. 151.793 from Aubrey, 159.792 from Future.
So that's 1,000th of a second between them. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. We said yesterday they were well matched, and again today, incredibly well matched. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. There they are again through Curva Grande. It just looks to me like when Aubrey's ahead, Future doesn't quite have the answer to make a move on him. Maybe he's going to prove me wrong here into the second chicane.
We still have two laps. This and the final lap.
Very close action there. That's really struck me with the identification this weekend.
Bird, Milesi, and Kosho.
Yes. but it looks like Bird is behind Malaysia now. Malaysia's made the move. Unless, I think it may well be Simonauer, Bird and Malaysia. So of course Simonauer went across the second chicane and had the gap closed on him quite considerably. A new best second sector of the race from Michael Ben Yahia, so he's on a mission to try and close down the two orange and black cars ahead of him and get away, of course, from Gilles Magnus. As we come down the back straight once more, Future will be right under the rear wing of Aubrey.
We're about to start the last lap of this race too.
Yes, it is going to be the last lap with 1 minute and 45 seconds to go as they go through the Parabolica. That time it was 0.3 of a second gap in lap time, so Aubrey's getting away. He's got 0.7 at the line this time, and I think he'll be quite pleased to. That's as big a gap as we've seen between the front two all the whole weekend. Turn your phone off, eh?
Of course.
Always tell your mum not to call during a race.
I'll just put it silent.
Frank Bird under pressure from Malaysia as they go through Curva Grande again.
Second chicane, still a consistent margin from Aubrey over Futrell, so Futrell has to find out where he can make his move, or he has to settle for second place.
There's a few tenths of a second between every position now in the top 5. Maxwell the closest to making a move from 5th to 4th to try and pass Gilles Magnus. Looks like the best battle on track is still Malaysia and Bird there, just chasing Jean-Baptiste Simonauer. That's for 6th place. And then you see it, 2 purple sectors now from Futrell. Maybe he has got something in his locker on this last lap. You'd have to suggest that the gap is too big.
0.5 of a second behind, so
take some kind of miracle, I think. It looks like Aubrey.
I think he should
at least
hope for a mistake from Aubrey, but so far Aubrey proved very consistent. So
he can at least ruin Aubrey's perfect weekend and take the fastest lap away from him, perhaps.
2 pole position and 2 wins for Aubrey. So.
And here he comes.
And also
and it's going to be another fantastic drive from Gabby Aubrey, and it's another Tech 1 1-2. Aubrey from Futrell and Michael Ben Yahia make up your podium.
Look who made the fastest lap.
And then in the end, yes, Max Futrell's fastest lap. So that's the only timesheet that Gabby Aubrey hasn't topped this weekend. So you have it. Gabriel Aubrey wins the second race of the Formula Renault NEC 2017, and another fantastic battle with Max Futrell. And you have to say, if it keeps going on in the season, Futrell will eventually get the better of Aubrey, I think.
They overtook themselves at least twice during this race too. And they proved very loyal, very clean in their moves. So well done to both of them. Yeah,
both of the guys yesterday were saying, it's very important to race in as cleanly as you can. And again, the top few cars have shown that. Unfortunately, we had some contact behind them, couple of incidents, and Sun Yu Yang and Perez Martono not finishing the race. 2 safety car periods, but again, 2 short safety car periods for which we have to commend them. The Monza Marshals, and there you have it. Aubrey from Futrell, from Ben Yahia, Magnus, Maxwell, Simonauer, Bird, Malaysia, Kouakou, Pankiewicz, Marecki, and Chia, and then Neubauer. Neubauer did not finish. He wasn't running at the end of the race. So that's 2 wins from 2 for Gabby Aubrey. 2 poles, only one of the 2 fastest laps. Max Futrell taking that away from it at the end.
At the very last lap. Now we will wait for the podium, of course, but what are the next venues of this series, Jake?
Yeah, well, we can look forward to some really excellent venues in the rest of the season. We go from here in Monza to Assen on the 5th of August, which is a fantastic venue and a huge crowd at the Gamma Racing Days every year, hundreds of thousands, well, nearly 100,000 people. Then in the 15th of September, we're off to the Nürburgring, and then 1 week later, 23rd of September in Spa-Francorchamps. And then on the first weekend of October, we're rounding out the season in Hockenheim. So some fantastic Grand Prix racing tracks for these guys and girls to learn. You have to say it's been a job very well done for Tech 1 Racing this weekend, hasn't it?
definitely. Tech One Racing, it's a professional team, very professional team, as it is RS, GP, JD Motorsport, Fortec Motorsport. They are top teams with Formula cars, so no surprise from them. They are used to work under pressure. They are used to work for the overall win. So we should put our hands together and congratulate with them because
exactly.
they are
And here they are arriving,
professional.
arriving into the winners' enclosure.
Yes, the winning pool we call it.
Victory Lane, if you're in America.
But it's not a lane.
Right, it's sort of a lane, and there he gets out. Very happy looking Gabriel Aubry. He's done the double. Congratulations from the Tech One team.
Congratulations also to Futural, of course.
And there's Max Futural. I suspect he'll be feeling a little bit disappointed that he because he was ahead and he wasn't able to hold that. But you know, you can't sniff at 2 podiums in one weekend.
He made a great start, Futural. He managed to slip by just before the first safety car. He made 2 excellent restarts after the 2 safety cars that we have witnessed. This is not a safety car; it's something different.
I was going to say, Giulio, can you help me again? I'm not sure if that's a car or.
It's dissuasore, how do you say, sausage curb with plenty of bumps.
And of course, we're now waiting for the drivers to make their way up to the podium and have and not drink any of the champagne. Or obviously, underage. We don't want any of that. Don't want any of that on our series.
At least not on video.
Take their trophies. Seeing her hair flying around yesterday. One of the most difficult moments we've had the whole weekend was trying to find a way that Julia Pankiewicz' hair doesn't cover all of her sponsors for the driver portraits.
This is a very big issue.
You'd be amazed how difficult it is.
At least as big as the lady we are seeing here.
Her hair is longer than that, yeah. It's incredible. I actually wonder where it goes when she puts her helmet on.
Oh, yes.
They're very fast on the track, but they're very slow to the podium, aren't they?
They are still cheering up.
We should tell them we're filming a remake of Rocky, and then they'll run up the stairs really fast.
In the meanwhile.
Just walking past underneath us, all the drivers very sensibly sticking to the shade.
They are signing the Roll of Honor
under the Monza pit wall. They could well be signing that Roll of Honor right now, of course.
I think they are about to join the podium because we are, from our position, we can see the Tech One team approaching the pit wall just below the podium area. So,
and of course,
we should be ready.
One thing we must mention is that the famous Monza book is red, but not quite as red as my co-commentator Giulio's trousers here.
It's red, bloody red.
It's extremely red. You're a braver man than me wearing those trousers, my friend.
Unfortunately, it's not my choice. So they gave me these trousers, and I have to wear them. They're very nice Ferrari red trousers, but nothing to do with Ferrari, of course. But they are quite visible in the paddock and in the offices.
They're visible for certain.
If the drivers and staff and teams need some help, there's a bit of a run. What happened here? Some champagne celebrating.
They're just a little bit excited to be in the sun.
So I have to wear these trousers. It's mandatory.
We have to be thankful that there's no webcam in the.
Just to let you have an idea how red my trousers are, you can see the napkin.
Yeah, they match the scarves the women on the
scarf.
podium have. Of course, they're your Gruppo Peroni trousers, of course.
Of course.
And here we come, drivers towards the podium. There's Michael Ben Yahya, the Moroccan. I don't think I've ever been at a race with a Moroccan on the podium before, so that's exciting. There's Max Fuchel coming around the corner,
Well done,
and here
Max.
comes Gabby Aubry.
And
there he goes, bounces up onto the podium, lots of energy. And here's the French national anthem.
At least Gabriel looks very happy. Let's say Maxwell is satisfied.
I think you're absolutely right.
Time for the French national anthem, La Marseillaise. Les Marseillaises.
And other trophies to be presented. And the third place trophy to Michael Ben Yahya, presented here by Mick de Haas, the promoter of the series. Long history in motorsport for Mick. But doesn't look a day over 21, of course.
No.
And here's Jürgen Evers from NEC, coming to
a very
award
nice
Max Future his trophy.
With the layout of the Monza circuit.
Oh, they are beautiful trophies. Wonder if I can sneak one in my luggage. And here comes Mick once more to present a second trophy to Gabby Aubrey. 2 races, 2 race wins, perfect weekend for the Frenchman. And rightly looks very pleased about it, as you would be. And
see how smiling he is, Max. Futrell is not as smiley as Aubrey, but that's the way it is.
Here they are posing with their cars. No, those are women. Thank you. You've helped me today. Tell the difference between cars and women. That's been very useful.
4 women. Time also for champagne.
And you can count as well.
Yes.
Phenomenal.
I've learned how to count on Friday.
And they're going to spray it this time.
Yes, I would suggest the ladies to hurry up. Too late.
Oh dear. Off camera they have
Too
unfortunately soaked the poor ladies who were on the grid with them with champagne. And and again off camera there is Max Futrell trying to make Gabrielle Aubrey as soaked as possible. But anyway, thank you very much for tuning in.
Thank you very much to Formula Renault Northern European Cup to have chosen a Gruppo Peroni race weekend here in Monza. Thanks on behalf of Gruppo Peroni race and on behalf of the Autodromo di Monza. We wish the series luck and success for the 2017. Thank you, Jake, for joining us
Thank
today
you very
in the
much. And
commentator
we'll
booth.
see you in Assen
We
on the 5th of
had
August.
fun for sure. I hope you all had fun and looking forward for next year.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.